sounds like. But Godly and Zen, they got some vibes going on there.
One of them gets the guaranteed winner's seat of Final Four on Championship Sunday. It is the end of somebody's night right now, and Acno getting in the midst of all that. Doesn't matter who it is, he's throwing hands.
Yeah, it's like at that point, you have both of them locked in with your teammate. Overall, the damage is just worth you getting on both of them, mathematically speaking. So you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go for it, because you're pushing that lead ever so much further toward your favor.
We talked a little while ago about how Godly previously was rocking that team of Zario and Dalsum last year along with Fozy. We're seeing a return here, but it's going to be the Wushang that has also been putting in so much work throughout this year, and it looks like that might be what happens as they just missed that KO off the top trying to take out Acno.
Oh, and we see the conversion off of that Endlight to Godly with the pass with the neutral signature, and that's going to lead to a stock taking another Endlight from Godly, and we are seeing just a tad more axe, right? Like we saw some from the Java a little bit earlier on, and of course there's been Ulgrim City on the EU side of things, but clearly making its return.
Speaking on that Ulgrim too, something Godly mentioned in that interview that's playing out here, respecting their level of play. You have to respect that level of play that Acno and Blaze have, especially the distance Ulgrim has. The Endlight will finally find its mark, but they've been real elusive up until that point where they're playing around everything they try to get started.
Yeah, one thing I've always admired about Godly's approach to mental in the game has always been he's cocky, but he's humble at the same time, right? He thinks he can beat everybody, but he doesn't say any match that he runs into is gonna be free. And that level of respect is what allows someone so great to show up. I mean, you see that double down sig from that Dawson there, almost getting a double KO, but not quite enough damage racked up on a Blaze.
Sometimes it's about that disrespect from that Axe D6 to just get down, get humble, but it wasn't enough to get both of them, but there's still a message sent. Blaze coming back through to try and get the Nair to help out Acno. Acno in the meantime, doesn't matter. He's going all the way up, going for that chase recovery, but smartly drifted to the side and got away from it.
Now we have another potential for the conversion. The Endlight is not going to lead to that, but you see Zen tries to get that punished, but the startup of these SIGs keeps getting interrupted. It's been a common scenario that we've run into across multiple sets throughout the day as we've been in this top 32 and now top 8, trying to get that spot for that top 4.
Nobody's surprised as well. Acno and Blaze bringing it all the way back, getting rid of Zen, getting a huge combo, even with Zen right in the middle of that, saying, go ahead, try to do something. Try to do something, because we're still getting rid of Godly.
Yeah, it's so much harder to like really break up the mold when you're unarmed in a situation like that as well, just trying to find your opening, and almost another conversion on, oh my goodness, I just to look, Acno is gone.
Acno disappeared, pulled a Houdini act at the moment, and Zen and Godly will take that every day of the week as they are trying once again to beat one of those Mount Rushmore teams as they take the first dub here. And an interesting fact that was brought up to me earlier today, first BCX 2 championships, international team winners. Godly and Zen making a good case for maybe making a second attempt at that.
All right, so huge possibility for history to be made here. I mean, admittedly, it already has, but you know what I'm saying here. There's an amazing amount of potential for something to be written in terms of championships that has not been written before as we go on into this game number 2. Acno and Blaze looking very commanding in pretty much all of the sets we've seen up until this point, but now running into Zen and Godly and starting on the back foot is unlike what we've seen from them thus far today.
Right now, Zen and Godly trying to make sure they keep that success going if they can, but Acno and Blaze are not ones to get, at any point, get too relaxed against, because that is a quick way to throw the game. And right now, Acno and Blaze doing everything they can to help each other out. Acno was taking a long time in the skies before he got back down to the ground.
Yeah, definitely hovering for a little bit, and they were able to capitalize on that situation. Blaze managed to find a side sig onto both members of the opposing team, but with that said, I'm taking a look at the damage values here, and Acno and Blaze aren't that far ahead. We're going to see a stock fall from Acno, we're going to see a stock fall from Blaze, and now, all of a sudden, it's a lead for Zen and Godly's only light orange.
Yeah, everybody falling very fast. They were able at least to get Godly in the mix, and we go with the unarmed Nair, and they will, wait a minute, we can maybe get Godly off stage, but Godly smartly going underneath, dipping back up, pushing Acno back off stage. Acno in a weird spot, but he was able to get around it.
And something that I'm seeing here, I'm like, man, why haven't we seen more spear throughout the day? Because I'm watching this gameplay from Zen, and he's been able to follow up off of any stray hit from Godly with relative ease to convert that into a team combination here. But I wonder if Acno and Blaze are even thrown off by it a little bit, because there hasn't been too much of this throughout the bracket.
Surprisingly enough, I think it's because everybody's been so prepped against it lately. It's been getting destroyed. Everybody who's been rocking spear or Wushang has been getting hit, except for this team up of Zen and Godly.
Yeah, I mean, we even saw on the side of Fakey and Java, that Java put down the Hattori and picked up that Jala instead, saying, you know, I don't really want the spear right now. And maybe you're right with the reason there is Godly finds that recovery, manages to secure a stock. We're looking at Zen and Blaze are down to their finals.
As even as you could possibly get right now, Acno and Godly both hovering, trying to stock tank while they can. Godly trying to sneak through off that soft platform, and Zen hoping to line it up. But as we talked about before, Blaze is always there. If you try to hit Acno, know that he's going to be there to interrupt it.
Ooh, and a nair-to-nair pass that we see from Godly to Zen, just carrying Blaze all the way down the stage. But still, that's going to be a side air from Blaze, securing that stock. We have final stocks for everyone here, right? One team combo, that's it. It's a 2v1. You don't want that to happen. I'm sure we'll see lots of interrupts.
But as even as you get kind of game right now, Zen and Godly trying to make sure that they can move this up, maybe 2-0 here, but the Nair gets caught up, grabbing Godly by accident. A quick D-Light punish there, while Acno not finding his mark, looking for a D-Light to catch him pumping up over the ledge, still can't hit him.
What is the answer going to be here? Acno and Blaze are trying to fight for some stage control here. Godly, the healthiest person on the board, but not by much. One stray hit. You can see the NSIG comes down. It's going to be ground pound. Godly can't make it back, and this weapon throw might spell doom for Zen here. Has to dodge at some point. They don't try to edge guard him. He could make this 2v1 comeback. What's the answer going to be? The Cider's not enough to find a KO. Yes, the Pogo. Maybe another Pogo here off the stage. The recovery's not enough. Everything's not securing the stock, but surely 2 more blows will. That Cider whiffs. That Cider still not enough. This recovery still not enough. Can anything KO? Finally, nobody doesn't get the touch, and that is a heartbreaker, as Acno is definitely happy taking that one to the bank.
You saw it in the camera too. He popped off a little bit like, thank goodness, because Zen was impossible to hit during that situation. Almost brought it all the way back, overextended a little bit on his pathing where he was trying to get back to the stage, allowed them to get the dub, but at the end of the day, we take those.
Yeah, no, that's one of those moments where you can really feel the speed stat in Brawlhalla make its importance known, right? If you have higher speed stat, you drift quicker to the left and to the right. Had you had a little bit more speed there, you would have been able to get that wall touch in a way that felt comfortable. Was just shy of it. Didn't think it was going to be a situation like that, but has to shake it off as we go into game number 3.
If I'm Acno and Blaze, I'm thinking about how that last match went, and it felt stressful because Godly was the one who had a majority of the damage and control all game. Then they get down to a 2v1 against Zen, and Zen almost wins it. You gotta make sure you clean that up going to the next one, because you got 1-1 here, but you can't let them replicate that going into game number 3.
Yeah, especially Zen had them pretty much hit them like 5 times, and the KOs just weren't falling, but was able to find the hits pretty convincingly. But that NSIG from Acno and the following recovery that we're seeing on a Godly, saying, all right, I think they're looking pretty comfortable. Oh, nice attempts to follow up from Godly unarmed, going with the unarmed ground pound, and it's not going to find the mark, but playing so confident.
Somehow slid past both targets that were right in the way. I don't know how he missed that. Maybe take a second look, clean the glasses, but instead we're going to see Blaze and Acno sporting a short borrow time lead, not going to get KO'd off the top there with that recovery.
Ooh, no follow-up off of that neutral air coming out from Godly, but still, Godly and Zen playing pretty confidently back-to-back. They're behind, but they don't feel like they've lost control of the stage. We see 2 stocks fall as a result of that superior positioning. I think they're getting their refocus.
It's so impressive to watch how both of them have constantly been shifting off who has the lead or not, and not losing confidence at any point. Because right now, Zen and Godly were behind momentarily, and they immediately started getting a quick combo because they saw Blaze make an attempt to try and approach. Acno tried to go save him. They read the high jump in, punished him for it, and now the damage is essentially even.
Yeah, it's clear the importance that they understand that, all right, damage matters, sure, but positioning is paramount. And so even if they're trailing behind, if they're able to regain the positioning that they know is comfortable and leads to them I'm surprised we didn't see an NSIG from Wushang there, to be honest, off of that.
Kind of expected that there too. That late, they were able to at least get one over on Acno before recovery coming through to help Godly get up a little bit higher. Their stage control's just been looking so good throughout this entirety of this set.
They're looking clean, super clean. Wow, okay. A little delayed recovery on that one. Tried to get a mix up there, and Acno gets a pogo. Godly gets caught by the D-like ground pound, but the ground pound doesn't connect, and Godly gets a turnaround. Now you can see Blaze going down there, thinking that some help was needed, but it wasn't. But no stocks are lost in the process, so all things considered, we'll call it net neutral.
Once again, yet another perfectly even game, but we're going to see the sneak through on the side stick, not paying attention to Godly's position, so now they get a lead. Do they get another one on Acno, trying to go off stage? They do!
Double!
And they get the double, and it is worth every time, because you know Blaze is going to go out there to try and help. He never lets Acno rock alone. He will always go down with the captain of the ship, but it wasn't in the right spot, and Godly was able to sink it.
And what I love about that sequence is it started off of a gauntlet-to-gauntlet team combo, right? You don't want to allow that DI to be a factor because of getting hit by the same move twice in a combo. So they very smartly cycled the attacks that they were using to make sure they never did the same move twice, and it forced the enemy team off stage. Acno and Blaze were looking precarious, and they were able to close it out based off of that.
As we zoom into that trophy, one of them gets that much closer to holding it up on Championship Sunday, because this is the qualifier for the winners finals set. #1 seed overall the tournament. Acno Blaze struggling here a bit against this international combo threat, but also a familiar face and the danger that Godly has presented to them over the last couple years.
Yeah, and it would really feel like a bit of a passing of the torch moment here if Zen and Godly are able to come out on top. I mean, so far looking quite poised to do that, as they may prove we'll see how this game goes, but it could be a convincing proof of the fact that they're the new #1s in town.
See if they can make that happen. Acno and Blaze, very similar to that of Mid Experience. It's not a team I count out at any point behind in the set, and we might see that Game 5 happen. Well, right now it's as even as you can get. Every single match up until that last double play from Godly has been as even as you can when it comes to damage.
You can already see in this game, Acno and Blaze have a slight lead here, but we're going to see how long Acno survives. The answer is not very long, as things are immediately brought back to even. Zen, you see the coverage on that?
If Acno doesn't get down there to kind of scare him a little bit, they might have been actually been able to finish that out, but just barely getting around that D-Sig over on the side. It's not been too often you've seen that from Godly.
Yeah, and they're making it scary because we saw that D-Sig, the Yoga Fire, coming out, right? But then also we saw the attempt on the ground pound in the Nair as well, so it's like, where do I go to not get hit?
Double Gauntlets is saying you can't go anywhere, you have to get hit. As even as you can get, again, I know we talked about a ton, but it's a huge factor. Acno missing out on that D-Light, accidentally hitting Blaze, going up there after Godly, Zen, can he finish it? No, and he misses the side light as well off the side. Acno whipping, trying to find an opener somewhere.
Yeah, this is kind of paramount here because Acno and Blaze don't have a whole lot to work with, and they do get the first final stock of Zen here. I'm wondering, will they be able to force that game in #5? Things are looking so close. Zen and Godly are trailing behind, but only so slightly. Every time we've seen this scenario, they've answered back almost effective immediately.
Yeah, they need to make sure that they stop this confidence from Zen, because you think back to that 2v1 again, when they almost went down 2-0, Zen was a big part of that problem because they couldn't hit him. So if they can keep that from happening here in this last one, right now they have to deal with the end light into the GC end lights. Right now they're coming through. I know he doesn't commit to it. He goes for the dodge instead. Didn't feel comfortable enough in that spot.
But even with that, I mean, they got so much damage there onto Acno. If they collapse on Acno, he could lose his stock at a moment's notice. That neutral air from Zen is going to make him that much closer to losing that final stock. But they are taking quite a bit of damage in the process. That neutral stick's not enough, but Zen gets the opportunity to convert to Godly, and this could be a huge pass for massive damage.
Amazing positioning from Zen, walking with him to guarantee you get that D-Light Seer to get that much more damage on, and Blaze in a prime position to maybe make one of the punish for it. Misses out on the Axe D-Sig. That would have absolutely gotten a KO.
I thought we might see a down sig from Acno as well on either, the bow as well to cover the corner, but nothing. And Godly lets the down sig rip and the side air to follow, and Godly and Zen take out Acno and Blaze. These are Mount Rushmore has been painted over with paint, like Naruto pulled up on the scene as a young buck and said, listen, I'm trying to be the Hokage now.